Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis. Tonight on the podcast, hard hats and the hard-headed men that wear them. What are we talking about? You'll find out when we join Paul Lawson tonight on Whiskey Business. I'm Dino Tripodis, and welcome to Whiskey Business, the podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey. And tonight our guest is Paul Lawson of Paul Lawson Helps, Paul Lawson Chats. What does he help? What does he chat with? We will get into that, but it is a niche of mental health support that is needed, and he's doing an amazing job with it. We'll talk more with Paul in just a little bit, but for our own Whiskey Business mental health, it's been close to a month since we last joined forces and talked, and so I think we're due for find out a little bit about our guest bottles and find out what you, my friends, have been up to in the last month or so. So, you know what? I need a sip of whiskey.
Okay. Cheers, boys.
You sound like you're already sober.
Cheers. Okay.
You're already sober. I like that.
This is this one is the Black Diamond Bourbon whiskey from the distillery of our a past guest. When I say past, I don't mean that he's past. Past, P-A-S.
Previous.
Brett Adams, and it comes from the Black Diamond Distillery in Nelsonville. So this is an Ohio-made whiskey. It's 103 proof, I believe.
It's a little. It fights back
got
a little bit.
To it.
Fights back a little bit, but it is surprisingly not bad.
Nelsonville, that's kind of on the way to Athens, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I've been there.
Very sweet. The first little taste was very sweet on my lips.
Yeah. We should go there and do some B-roll and show there.
I will text him and say, "Hey, stranger, we had your whiskey on the podcast," and he'll say, "Hey, why didn't you have me on the podcast?" And then I'll say, "Well, last time you were on the podcast, we had to take out a bunch of stuff because you were afraid you're going to be sued."
That's the problem with having lawyers on your goddamn podcast.
That's true, man.
Podcast remorse. That's not bad. That's
No.
not bad.
No.
Do you remember what that cost?
I hate to brag, but we got it pro bono.
Oh, nice.
He gave it to a fellow coworker.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
Good.
Well, then,
So
but did he give it to a fellow coworker to give to us?
Well,
or did he give it to the coworker for him and just completely forgot about us?
No, he gave it to the coworker, and because I had asked for one.
Nice.
Specifically.
Does his name, the coworker, does his name rhyme with Harry?
No, it rhymes with Borg.
Oh, okay.
It's Torg. Torg and Elliot.
I thought it was a sequel.
If you haven't heard that, I work at the rock station now. Torg and Elliot.
Yes, we've all heard about your big resurgence with the Columbus Radio Group.
They're fun. No, we have a good time.
Hardcore.
I can't think of his name right now. What's his name?
Brett?
Brett, thank you. Yeah, Brett and Torg are buddies, and they brought a bottle. I was like, "Oh, give me a bottle, and I'll have it on Whiskey Business." And they did, and here it is.
Here it is, and here it is, and here it is.
Nice.
Thank you,
So
Brett.
we're drinking
and
it. Cool.
Contract complete.
All right, I'm out. I'm going to zone out now and drink.
Not too much.
Fine.
Last time you drank too much, you were almost disowned from me, and if my daughter would have found out what happened, definitely her. But we won't talk
You
about
can
it.
say it.
I almost
No,
let
I'm
the
not
cat-
saying it.
She doesn't
I almost
listen to
let
the
the cat out.
podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the cat out.
shit. Said it.
That's
Let it
not
out of
an
the bag.
expression. I let the
He
cat
let it
out.
out of the
He
bag.
almost let the
Let
cat.
the cat
He left in the middle of winter. He
that-
left both doors open on the side when he left. When he wasn't even supposed to leave, he snuck out because he was supposed to stay for a while longer.
I'm going to cut this part out.
There's
Yeah.
more
Yeah, you
cats.
are.
There's
Yeah,
more
you
cats than
There's
cats.
more
But
related
anyway.
about the cat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's more about the cat than anything else. Yeah.
It's more about the cat.
Didn't want to lose the cat. Hansberry, casualty of war, as they say. The
Yeah.
collateral damage of podcasting.
Yeah.
It was a great episode. It's okay.
It was fun. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Quickly though, because I want to get Paul up here. Let's recap. You were in Hell, Michigan.
I brought all my merchandise. I went to Hell, Michigan with my daughter and my nephew. I brought back a postcard for Dino.
Thank you.
It's fun. It's basically the entire town is just one gift shop, and they have putt-putt, and they have an ice cream store inside. And just a bunch of like shirts and,
Is it all
and
Halloween
swag.
themed?
Yeah, well, but yeah, a lot of like Hell stuff, but they have like Halloween costumes and
Bars?
shit. So they have a tavern that's right next door that just closed. And I was thinking, guys, this
wanna
might
buy
be our big opportunity. Yeah.
To go up
Buy
to
a bar
Michigan?
in Hell,
Oh,
Michigan.
open a
let's-
bar.
Yeah. Let's buy the tavern in Hell, Michigan.
And move
We're
to Hell,
buying
Michigan.
a bar.
Yeah, move there.
Move to Hell, Michigan.
Do the podcast from there.
Among the four of us, I think
Yeah.
it would be a huge
because
success.
we're making so much money.
right.
Yeah, that's,
from this. This is that's a
That
great
just
idea.
sounds like the absolute pure definition of hell. To be honest with you.
But we could turn it around. It'd be Hell Has Heart.
yeah.
Hell has heart. Hell has heart. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
That's great.
Chipper, what about you? What have you been doing?
We usually go up to Michigan this time of year, but we didn't this year. We're doing a staycation, and we're going out to the cabin every other weekend or so and fix
The
it.
cabin? Did you fix the cabin up yet?
It
Because you
is
said-
the roof is fixed. The clearing, the clear cut, and they
Is all the
changed the
mildewy stuff
it's
out?
all starting to suck out. I haven't been there yet, but they've been going. I'm going this weekend actually.
Okay, nice.
So that'll be fun, and I'll give you a report
And
on that.
your daughters were in India.
Yes, Emily and Audrey were both in India.
That's crazy.
I know, it's so scary because Audrey went first, and then she was there for like a month, and then Emily showed up, and as her plane was landing, she got news that there was that airplane crash in
Right,
India.
right.
So she was kind of freaking out, So
As I'm sure you were as well.
I was totally
Yeah.
on pins and needles. It was crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And I decided since our last podcast, I was not going to cut my hair, so I let my hair grow.
Your hair
long.
looks good.
And now I can finally cut it.
No,
And-
don't cut it. Let it
What?
go, man.
I know. I keep telling the kids I look like Snake Plissken. And they're like, who?
Yeah.
Who? I know it's not real. I don't really. look like-
Yeah, I mean, if you think
Yeah.
you do, then I don't want to
Thank
ruin
you,
that for
thank
you.
But it was all the. It was so wonderful to have them actually come back and land.
Yeah,
and
sure.
They were. Oh my god! It was
That's
just great to have them back.
Yeah.
I thought, well, now I can cut my hair.
No,
no, I
not
was
cut.
hanging.
And Whitney?
Been working, and we're prepping for a cross-country adventure.
I know. I'm excited for you, and I'm also concerned for you
I
because
know.
Yes.
the you and I being filmmakers, the cinematic mind in my head go like this. If he doesn't take notes about this trip,
Yeah.
that there's a screenplay waiting to be written
We'll figure
as you
it out.
come back from California
Yeah.
to Ohio in a car that's not yours.
No, a 79 convertible Mercedes.
What?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And you're driving it.
He's
Yeah,
driving
Gemini,
across
yeah.
country. It's just
You got to shoot a movie.
We're taking 9 days. And
documentary.
we're
he's
gonna-
got you got to shoot some
We'll shoot some video.
doc style video
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah. So we're gonna cruise around, probably the northern part, not way up into like northern, the Canadian part of the United States, but
Yeah.
we'll cut through Wyoming and
Sure.
and Nevada,
Devil's Tower.
Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
You know,
What could possibly go wrong?
I know, right?
I
don't know.
How long? 2-week trip?
No, just a 9-day trip.
9-day trip.
No,
Over the course-
there's only one day that goes over 4.5 hours. Really, it's 8 hours for one drive when we go up to Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
But the rest is like 4.5 hours a day.
That's perfect.
Oh, you maybe you misunderstood me. I don't see anything going wrong when you're driving the car for
Right,
4.5
right,
hours.
right.
I see things going wrong when you stop wherever the places you may be, and the misadventures, if you will,
Yeah.
occur with the
The people
people
you meet,
that you
yeah.
run into and the situations that you may encounter along the way. That's where I think
Should I hide
Things-
my wallet in the car somewhere? in a
things go
lockbox, or-
wonderfully awry.
Hey, get your car.
Yeah. Well, I just envision somebody taking a switchblade to the rag top.
Oh yeah, so you got so many things to worry about.
I told my sister that that's what I was worried about because it's a hard top and rag top, and so I'm just gonna pack duct tape.
and it's insured.
Sure.
Pack duct
He's
tape,
only
pack
stopping
some-
at motorcycle
Pack
bars.
some rope.
Yeah,
pack
right.
a shovel in the trunk. It's all the accoutrements.
I want to go into
when
a
you get
place.
pulled over.
I want to be like a Pee Wee Herman moment where we walk into a bar and just completely out of place.
And you know what? I think you have 9 days to make that happen. There's gonna be
Oh, you walk into a bar and it's a midget convention.
That would be the best.
When here's an
And John's so tall.
here's an odd question. When was the last time you can recall having to defend the reputation and valor of your wife,
Oh, I don't know.
and actually maybe gotten to fisticuffs because of it?
That'd be fun.
Well, yeah, in line in Walt Disney, I think maybe.
Maybe that was it.
Man.
There's some dude that tried to fucking butt in front of us. He had 20 people in his party, and he he was in front of us. He was trying to get everybody to come into the line with him, and Jen wasn't having it. The guy was trying to pick a fight with me, and it just, luckily it de-escalated.
It de-escalated.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there'll be a situation where something will escalate and the different side of John Whitney comes out. Like
The manly side.
the manly side.
Man, the side no one ever
which
gets to
is
see.
that no one's ever seen.
That's right. I've
His
only gotten
skin
in 2
turns
fights
color.
in my life. So.
He rips his shirt off.
Cool.
Are we ready to bring him in?
All right, Chipper. We're gonna let Chip move over to the side, and Paul Lawson, who's been sitting in the brown room. I call it the green room. The brown room. It's all brown couches. Have a seat, my friend. There's no green in there. It's all brown. How are you, buddy?
Doing great.
Did as you know, the rule is on whiskey business, you do not have to partake in whiskey. But would you like a little sip of this?
Just that way.
Some Black Diamond. Would you like
this
a
way?
little bit of sip of the Nelsonville?
Yeah, why not?
The Nelsonville brew, as you can just nurse that throughout the
Listen
podcast.
to the story about this. Interesting. So there's like some legal stuff around the guy from this town? Or
The
what?
guy, the Brett, Brett bought a bunch of property. Actually, bought a town pretty
He
much.
bought a town.
He bought. I don't know if he bought the town of
Whenever I
Nelsonville,
hear
but,
buying a town, I
but
think
there
of,
was
like,
a little small
Wexner.
town, and he kind
Or
of
Lex
bought everything
Luthor.
up and has got a bunch of Airbnb stuff down there, and then they also started this distillery. That was the plan,
Sure.
and this is the product of that. So
Yeah, okay.
maybe I need to call him and get a update on where things are.
they're obviously making juice.
Yeah,
so-
they're making juice, so
not bad.
it's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
How are you, my friend? Paul Lawson is with us. Paul Lawson helps. Paul Lawson Chats is his website.
Indeed.
I don't know if there's a Paul Lawson Cooks or a Paul Lawson
Yes.
Cleans or Paul Lawson Drinks.
Yes.
But, what I'm trying to say is if there was, I would support and be a fan of the entire franchise every step of the way.
How far do you think I should take that brand?
As far as you can,
Because Paul
man.
Lawson, the family, according to the family, it is Paul Lawson Cooks, Paul Lawson Cleans, Paul Lawson Mows.
Moe's.
Yeah. Paul Lawson kind of budgets.
Doesn't flow as well.
It doesn't flow as much. I don't like that.
Got to keep the three things in there.
So yeah, but no, it's kind of doing a bunch of stuff right now, and you and I just kind of our worlds collided.
Yeah, that's how we met. Our worlds did collide at
Yeah.
a function that was put on by Obie Stillwell.
Yep.
And it was a breakfast, and mental health was
Men's mental health.
men's mental health
There
specifically.
was a band and a DJ. Mm-hmm. The dude knew
Yeah.
how to get a spirit going at 7:30 in the morning.
Yes, he did.
That takes a lot.
Yeah, he
He
did.
did it. He did it.
That's
It was
early.
wild.
And there were some great speakers, and
Yeah.
and Paul and I met at that breakfast and exchanged numbers. And you know how when people actually exchange numbers, say, we should get together and have
Right,
coffee,
right, right.
and they never
Yeah,
do.
never.
We did.
He did.
We
That's
did.
Yeah,
And
we kept it up too.
kept it up and still keep it up. Normally we're sitting across from a coffee shop. And
You're
from
good
each
at
other.
making friends as an adult. A lot of people don't do
There
that.
are literally
As
books
an
and
adult.
podcasts
Yeah,
around there of
yeah.
just people trying to figure out how to make
Yeah,
friends.
and I think that's what you do.
As
is
an adult, you're
you-
good at making friends.
You do step number 2, which is like actually
Follow
meet
through,
up.
yeah.
Follow through.
Follow through. Say you're gonna.
It's all
do
about
it
the
and do
follow
it.
through.
That's right.
Yeah, but we followed through. We've had amazing chats about what we're both doing. We had Tony Coder on months ago.
He
and
was
that's
awesome.
That's how I got involved in man therapy. Right. And Paul Lawson helps. You have found this, and I told you this before, brother. I think you found this incredible niche in respects to male mental health. When we talk about suicide rates in Ohio, 81, 80. I don't know I think it went down a percentage point last
Yeah.
year. But still high, and that's 81% of the suicides in Ohio are men,
Yep.
and a large percentage of that is between the ages of 55 and 75. And then when you start to break it down, and you can not correct me, but actually remind me of what the order is as far as top 5. I know that first responders and veterans are in there.
They're in there. Yeah.
And then we get into every time I say this to people, because I talk about you and I tell people about the conversations that we have and how I might be doing stuff with you down the line.
Sure.
I mention construction,
Yeah.
and people go, construction?
Really.
And that's when I pass the ball over to you, my friend.
Yeah.
How you stumbled across this, or how it was brought to your attention, and the work that you're doing now to
Yeah.
support that.
Yeah. No, it is. It's it does come across as a shock to a lot of folks when they hear about it, only because we drive around every day and we see construction happening, but rarely do we stop and think about the dude up on the crane or his family, you know. So I stumbled into construction back in 2019 as like a Hail Mary career change. Like, and you know, I'm a former pastor.
I was going to bring that up.
I
but
know.
That's
I know.
fine.
Well,
Let's-
hey,
let's-
it's kind of
bring it up. Yeah, man.
exploring the story. No, but that's kind of it. Like, I think in order for me to get into talking about the construction stuff, I kind of have to go back a little bit.
Sure.
'Cause I'm not from construction.
No.
Like I'm wearing construction boots, but these are kind of new.
Yeah, I was
you
going
know?
to mention those. They look like they've been used a
These
little
are
bit.
construction boots, yeah, but they are new. So in the sense of like, I came into the industry in 2019 as a Hail Mary career change from being a former youth pastor. So did that for over a decade. Went to Bible college, met my wife, you know, did all that. Got myself into one of them big mega churches down in Cincinnati, and
Was there a statue of Jesus like 400 feet
that
tall?
was right down the road from
Yeah.
us. I remember the night that thing caught on fire. The
Oh,
original.
man.
My buddy called me and he was just like,
remember that in the news.
Big Butter Jesus is on fire.
Is that what they
Yeah, I
called
heard
it?
That's
about
what they
that.
called it. Big Butter Jesus. Yeah, there was
on
a song
fire?
about it and everything.
It was on the
Yeah.
news.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Oh man.
So they replaced Big Butter Jesus with $5 footlong Jesus. So those are that. Everybody in the area. I'm from Middletown, Ohio. Like I'm from Middletown. So like that's down in Mason, which is just right down the road, or Monroe. That's right down the road from us. That was a big deal when that all happened. So when they replaced Jesus, that was a really big deal.
when they replaced
They
Jesus.
did. They replaced Jesus. But yeah, I grew up like church going, Bible thumping, all of that stuff. Went to Bible college. Like I was told when I was a kid, like, hey, you're gonna be a pastor or worship leader or something someday. And
My
I was
mom
for a
still
while.
thinks I'm going to be a priest.
That's
God love her. She's talk about
good.
faith.
I like that. Well, and I love the shirt. The shirt
still
you're wearing
time.
right now is perfect.
Going
for it,
to hell.
too.
See
Talk
you in
about
hell.
in hell,
faith if
Michigan.
your mom still thinks.
She thinks I'm perfect. She's the only one on the planet that still thinks thinks the
Well,
world of me.
that's her job. She's supposed to. But you say former pastor, and,
Yeah.
and you make references like I grew up in church, Bible thumping. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But you still have your faith.
Yes.
The faith is still a big part of what
Yes.
you do and who
yeah,
you are.
it's evolved. It's evolved. Like I think it's not, and I think that's all part of the story too. Is so I was a pastor for a long time at a mega church, like one of the fastest growing churches in America down in Cincinnati called Crossroads. Did that for a really long time. Loved it. Learned a lot. Like as a pastor, preached, recruited volunteers, and planned events, and played in the band. And like,
you're also a hell of a musician.
I play guitar too. So do that, and I did all this stuff, and it was awesome. But I was never the kind of pastor. I was never going to go drive a Bentley or wear Gucci. Like all these big. You ever Righteous Gemstones?
I just finished it up last season.
That's not who I am
Yeah.
as a person. But like that's unfortunately there's some truth in that show where you got all these pastors out there that are making disgusting amounts of money.
There has to be some truth to it.
There is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That show's kind of painful as a former pastor to watch that and you're like, ooh, they kind of nailed it on some of it.
Like really close to the vest.
Yeah. And to me, I was like, no, I wanted to minister. I just want to serve people. My favorite thing that I did, I remember when I was a youth pastor, we had a kid who was 12-year-old kid in his liver was failing. And he was in the hospital, totally jaundiced. His family was all in the room. And I was just going out and doing just a visit and taking care of the family. And I'll never forget walking into that room. This kid is laying in the hospital bed. He's 12 years old. He's just a kid, He's middle school, I just remember going in there and David just wanted his Xbox 360 from home. That's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted.
So I just remember, I was like, I can go get your Xbox 360 and I can go and set it up for you and all that. So I did. I went out and got his Xbox, brought it over to the hospital so he could have some sense of normalcy.
Sure.
And I remember that was such a moment to me. It was just like, that's what I love doing. I love taking care of people who are going through like really shitty times in their life and being there for them and creating normalcy. If I can do that, I want to do that forever.
You
I'll do
are
that till
at the
death.
right podcast.
I want to do that. I want to do that. So that was something that kind of like stuck with me. But as I kind of got further into ministry and kind of realized like, love this stuff. but I wasn't sure where it was going to. It's not. If you're doing it for the right reasons, I don't think it's not good money,
Right.
And it shouldn't be. That's not the point of it. The point is mission and taking care of people. So that's one part of my background. The other part of my background is I am a 2-time cancer survivor. So,
2-time.
Yes, 2 times.
One wasn't enough.
One wasn't enough.
Had to
Had
go
to come
twice.
back.
Had
I
to
needed
come
the
back.
sequel. Yeah. And,
One for each.
Empire Strikes Back. It came back.
Yeah.
And it was darker. The sequel was darker.
So both the same.
Both same.
Yeah.
Both same. So I originally got it when I was a freshman in college. So 2008. I came home after tests were done my freshman year, and I just knew something was off. Went to the doctor. They confirmed it. And then within a week, ultrasound, surgery, and then chemo. Like bam, bam, bam.
1, 2, 3.
And again, freshman, just
Sure.
as a kid.
Life-changing.
Yeah. So went through that whole thing. It was the kind of cancer, though, that like my oncologist was just like, hey, man, if I'm going to get any cancer, this is one that I want to
good
get.
cancer.
They always tell you that. They always, that's just like, this is the one that I would line up and
yeah.
get. And I'm like, thanks.
If you had to have cancer,
That's right.
this is the one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Such good news. Thank you. Fantastic. So, but we did the whole thing. 4 rounds of
That's a
chemo.
glass half full
Hey,
situation
yeah,
right there.
It really is.
Cheers.
It really
Here's
is.
to
Yeah.
Here's to the good cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And cheers to the
Wow.
good cancer. And so
But then you got it again.
and then it came back. So I beat it. 2000. So I went back to school. I got it. I beat it. Got back into remission by the time school started back up. So whole summer was just fight cancer. Sophomore year, dove back into school, and then continued on. And then between that time and it came back, got married, had a kid, dove into my career in ministry, and then 10 years later, it's like one cell survived.
Oh man.
Like one cell survived chemo and just started growing again. And what felt like it was the same cancer, but it grew back in my abdomen, like around my kidneys.
Oh wow.
So then it just started rapidly growing, like with a vengeance. And then I started noticing like something feels off. Like,
killed
this was
my
wrong.
parents.
You killed my father.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
how
yeah.
dare you? You know.
Wow.
And then it came back, and then that was it. I mean, and then so
Same drill, same thing?
So this time, this type of cancer, when it comes back, they don't give you the same prognosis. They
Oh.
give you a big old fat, like this thing doesn't play by the same rules, so we don't know.
So when it comes back the second time, it comes back stronger, harder,
Yeah.
worse, and they're not as. It's not the good cancer anymore.
Not the good cancer anymore.
So
No,
the
no,
doctor
no.
doctor then said, "Okay, I know I said that
Yeah.
if I could get any cancer, this would be the one."
That's it. That's it. Yeah. And just to give a clue of the type of cancer, I had my oncologist was the same guy who worked on Lance Armstrong.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
same guy, Indianapolis. And what was crazy too, we moved. So I kind of burnt out in the job in Cincinnati. Again, that church went from 20,000 people to 40,000 people in about 5 years. So
Huge.
it just exploded, and which was just beyond what I think I was capable of doing at the time. So I burnt out. We moved to Indianapolis. I was already feeling some stuff around then, but we move in November. I took a job at a smaller church. We get an apartment. We move, my wife, my 1-year-old, and I, and then less than a month after we move in, I get the diagnosis. So new city, new job, barely any friends, like so, and then this cancer that was never supposed to come back is back with a vengeance, and I don't know if I'm going to make it. So it was like panic level of like, what are we going to do? The crazy thing, though, again, the best oncologist in the world for this kind of cancer, the guy who figured out like the silver bullet for this type of cancer, was 15 minutes from my apartment.
Crazy.
Wow.
So I could have, and I looked at jobs in Baltimore and out in California and Indianapolis, and I chose the quote unquote shittiest of the three options.
I was going to say, finally something good came
I
out of
did.
Indy.
I did.
I grew up there,
something
so
good
I'm
came
allowed
out
to
of
say
Indy.
that.
Yeah. Not a fan of the city per se. And all my friends, if they're listening, are from Indy. I love you. The city, it kind of sucks. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
no. And well, at least now they have the Pacers. That's why the Pacers were such a huge deal, because there's nothing
Right.
there.
Well, they got
Right.
the fever too.
they lost.
Don't remind. They got the fever.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad, if you're listening.
Did you? I'm kind of to do two-part question. Did your faith at the time, when you were still working in a smaller church, when you went to Indianapolis, were you working in a church at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I took a spot. So it was
So-
a church of 5,000 people
5,000
instead
people.
of 40,000 people. Yeah.
So did your faith and prayer come into play with that? Do you think that mind frame had some positivity to it?
Yeah, I think so.
And I'll follow up with why I'm asking.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that I didn't have a faith crisis during that time. I definitely had a like, why did this come back? I think everybody who probably goes through a situation like that has a little bit like, why me, God? Why? Why is this happening?
I don't think it's uncommon to have those moments of self-pity.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I'm a good person. I've done good things. Why
Yeah.
is this happening to me?
Yeah, and I knew I could tell. I mean, if somebody else had come to me and said, just like, why did my husband get cancer, or why did my kid get cancer, or whatever, and like those things did happen, I think I had my canned pastor response that I would give them, but when I went through it, it felt like it was harder to swallow. I think it gave me new empathy for folks that just had like really something just really tragic and shitty happen. So yeah, I don't know. It's something that like I wouldn't say that it rocked my faith at that time. I definitely had more. I had questions like,
Sure,
why is this happening? All that stuff. But
yeah. I would. How long have you been cancer free since this last one?
So I went into remission again March of 2018. So I'm going on over 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yep.
How fearful and haunting is the thought of a third time, or is that completely blocked out of your head? How does someone like you who's gone through it twice not think or does think about the next time, or do you not even think like, or you're the mindset where like, I am done. There is no next time.
Yeah. No.
What I'm kind of curious as to what goes through a mind of somebody who's a 2-time cancer survivor.
It's every day.
Every day, think about it every day.
I think about it every day.
Not obsessively.
No, I think to me, it's given me. Once we get into the stuff with construction and how I got there and why I dove into the work that I'm doing, a lot of that is motivated by the feeling of like, I don't know when this thing could come back or if it will come back. And if it does, it could take me out. So every day counts. Like every single day.
It's kind of excuse my language, but it's kind of a fucked up incentive.
I know.
To live.
Yeah.
I mean, to live, to know that you almost lost it twice.
Yeah.
It is. It's kind of an incentive, like to, we joke about all the time, oh, make every day count. We don't.
Right.
We don't. We waste time. We waste days. We waste weeks. But you're of a mindset where like every day is kind of important.
Yeah, and I think that's what's like kind of pushed me to say yes to a lot of things that I think I never would have said yes to 10 years ago.
Like skydiving.
No. I wanted to do motorcycling for a while, and then my wife was just like, "You already almost died, dude. Like, don't be an idiot, know?" And I was like, "All right, yeah, you're probably right." No, but like I think just saying yes to like getting up and standing in front of like a bunch of dudes like on a construction site who are all just like, why in the fuck are you here talking about this stuff around mental health and like why, and doing it and being like, hey, I've got my story to tell. I'm willing to be vulnerable. And if it empowers anybody in here to be vulnerable too and open up, maybe for the first time in your life, then that to me is a win.
So you were working construction when you started talking to your coworkers, or no? Or you just would visit a site.
So we're just about there to the construction
timeline's
part. We're
almost
super there.
there.
We're almost
trying to
there.
get you there.
I know. I'm so sorry. We're
John's
trying to
like,
come on, dude. I know. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I'm just messing around.
We still have half a bottle. We're all right.
There you go.
We're good.
Yeah. So, I get the cancer again. Indianapolis. I start working with my oncologist.
Caitlin Clark.
4 rounds of chemo again. A huge surgery that took out a kidney. And all it was a mess, but it worked. So I got my call, and I still have my voicemail from my oncologist saying my numbers are all back to normal. That's like the trophy. And
Let's play it.
You want to play it?
Yeah, we can. Hey, is your son biological after your
First so kid 1 was our freebie.
Okay.
We didn't know how much is TMI.
Not on this podcast.
If you cut it, you need to cut it. It's okay.
Not on this podcast.
I thought I was infertile after the first time I had cancer, and it turned out I wasn't. So we had kid 1 naturally. Kid 2 came through IVF.
Okay.
So we had to go through
Just
that
curious.
So that's some John Wayne shit right there.
Yeah.
One testy.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's it.
It took over, man.
It only takes
He's
one.
such a man. He can have testicular cancer and still have babies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here we go, March 28th.
Yeah, to put the butt right up against the microphone.
No, other side where your mouth is. Near where your mouth is.
I gotta get it. Why is it so quiet?
Put on speaker.
Hey, Mr. Lawson, Dr. Einhorn, just want to give you the good news. Your alpha fetoprotein is completely normal.
Let me restart it so it's there at the right place.
Hey, Mr. Lawson, Dr. Einhorn, just want to give you the good news. Your alpha fetoprotein is completely normal at 6.9. Anything below 25 is normal. So that's great news, and good luck with the surgery, but things look good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's short and sweet, but hey,
There you go.
You know
Don't
what?
waste
That
any time.
voicemail, I remember getting that voicemail and being like, okay,
All right.
that's it. Okay.
Now
So
what?
I got another chance. I got another thing. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know? So that was when I started having questions of like, do I want to be in ministry anymore? Like, do I want to continue on with this? If my cancer does come back and take me out, I'm not some rich pastor. I haven't set my family up well. So I was starting to think about what are some other industries that I could get into? So I had friends in construction, and they were like, hey, if you're thinking about a career change, why don't you just, I don't know what you'll do as a former pastor, cancer survivor, whatever, but you could answer phones, get your insurance. So I went ahead and said yes. We moved to Columbus, and then after that point, I wasn't sure what to do with my background at all, but it was a industry I knew was making good money, and it was around a lot of people. So who know? I had no idea. So I just kept doing the administration thing for a while. I suck at administration. I don't know how I was able to keep that up. Anybody who's listening from Mid-City Electric in Westerville will laugh at that because I was shit at that part of my job. But I stuck with it and asked a lot of questions, and I made a lot of friends. And after a while, we started doing like the well-being thing as a company, doing the corporate well-being program that starts and fizzles out typically right after it's starts up. Right. And then they were like, "Hey, Paul, you're a former pastor. You actually like people and you like talking to people. So why don't you come in and run the mental health stuff?" And I'm like, "I'm not a doctor. I'm not like a therapist or anything." They're like, "It doesn't matter. You like people, and that's more than what we can say. A lot of people."
You're
Already there.
Top guy.
Yeah, that's it. So, and then that was it. So then I started just kickballing around some ideas around mental health and reached out to some folks, asked some questions. And then a few months after that, we had one of our guys die by suicide out of the blue. It was March 22nd, 2022. And HR was, scrambling to figure stuff out, and superintendent and all of them were just, and I think at that point I was just like, well, something I heard that people do in situations is go out and like hang out with the crew and bring food. So I was like, that's what I would have done as a pastor. Go out and bring food, the ultimate love language, bring food. So I did. Went out to his site that he led at, brought donuts to his crew that morning. That it was like 2 mornings after they lost him. And I just spent time with the guys out there at one of the data centers out in New Albany is where he was at.
Was there a conversation?
At that time, I wasn't even planning one, but the foreman out there was just like, well, hey, Paul's here and he's doing like some mental health stuff. So if you all want to like come on over, grab a donut, he's going to say something. And I was like,
I have nothing planned.
Say something.
I said, I don't remember what I said, something about grief.
Yeah, but
Grief and
that's
jelly donuts.
That's the amazing thing about this type of work.
Yeah.
Even though you had nothing planned,
Yeah.
unconsciously, it was in there. It was in there. Your experience as a pastor, your experience with loss.
Yeah.
There was something in the bank.
It was there.
That was there, and
Yeah.
consequently, not planned. It comes out naturally, sincerely,
Yep.
honestly, and probably ends up having a bigger impact than if you would have like sketched out.
Some
3
note
pages of
cards.
stuff to say when I
Right.
go to the construction site with donuts, I'm going to say all this. But the fact
Yeah.
that it came out in the moment
Yeah.
probably had more of an effect on everybody
Oh.
there than you realized.
I think that was essential. I think actually that first time kind of tipped me off that like the guys do want to be just kind of taken care of and given space to feel stuff.
Right.
I think for the longest time, not just construction, but a ton of industries have just been like, well, you're dude working, just you just
Keep your head down.
keep
do
your
it.
head down and do your job. Like, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and, do your thing. And I've heard that the quiet part out loud so many times now that that's just true. That's what it's been for so long. So that's why I feel like in industries like construction, but also manufacturing and trucking and all these other industries that are starting to get into this too, agriculture is another one. It's pretty potent. Like the whole idea of modeling vulnerability and letting dudes know it's okay to feel.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just because your dad didn't doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I know.
My dad didn't cry. I don't cry. Yes, it does. That's what you battle.
I know.
That's what you fight.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what you go up against.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is just another form, another path of what we say repeatedly in this world about breaking the stigma.
Yeah.
And the stigma is that rough, tough,
Yeah.
keep it to myself construction guy who's
Yeah.
going to work for 6 months, might not know if he's working the next 6 months,
Yeah.
has to shoulder that responsibility
Yep.
of taking care of himself in order to take care of his family. It all starts to just
Yeah.
mount.
Yeah.
Was
And-
there a breakthrough with that group? Did they? I mean, was there a moment where you said, "Oh, this is
Oh.
actually going to work"?
Later on, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say right when I first started going out and doing job site visits, because that's how it started, was just going out to some of those sites and just hanging out with guys and bringing like lunch or bringing breakfast. And then we started doing training, and then we started a peer support team. And then that kept kind of snowballing, and we kept throwing ideas out about like what would work. But all of it was based on that idea that you just said, which was don't go in and script your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People can tell when you're not being for real.
Right.
Like they can sniff that out a mile away. But if you're being totally genuine, and when you're modeling vulnerability, you're not doing it in a manipulative way. You're doing it because you genuinely like, hey, listen, I've got a story. I've been at pretty low spots in my life. I've had a drinking problem. I've had my own mental health issues. I've had all that, and I got help. And if you go out there and verbalize that story and you mean it, folks do respond.
They do.
I've had the crustiest, like the crew of the Black Pearl, like pirates. These guys come up and share their story. Like I'll go out and do a toolbox talk. That's what they call them. It's like you go out and they call them toolbox talks, which is like a safety talk that they do on job sites. And normally it's like OSHA stuff, like fall protection.
Other companies call it tailgating.
Yeah, the tailgating. It's probably more fun there. But toolbox talks, you go out and it's a 10-minute talk. I'm like, that's perfect. That's great. Then we'll just do a toolbox talk around this stuff, Start doing that. I mean, we do them really well, though. But what I found, like, I'll go out to a job site. It's got 800, 900 guys. Go out and tell my story. And then there would be guys that just come up afterwards.
Yeah.
That have never told anybody about the stuff that's happened in their life. But for some reason, this bearded, burly dude up on stage talking about his story somehow gave them permission to say something.
You gave him an exit ramp.
I gave them one.
You gave him an exit. You
it.
gave him a place a rest stop. You gave him a chance to get off whatever
That's it.
highway that they're on, to
Yeah.
pull off and say, "Hey, I'm going to take a break, and here's somebody I can talk to."
Yeah, that's it.
That's
And
awesome.
It's happened so much, and now it's got to the point where I kept the program going and building the program and all that, and then other companies started reaching out, and conference would need a speaker, go out and speak and do that stuff, and it just got to the point where I was just saying yes to everything, and I wanted to say yes to everything because I was like, this is it. Like if there's some weird windy path that took this church kid through Bible college and burning out in ministry and then getting cancer twice and then landing in this industry that I had no background in, or was a total imposter syndrome, being
That
in this
feeling?
thing.
Yeah,
that
no.
absolutely. Why in the hell am I here?
They're
I've
not
suffered-
stopping me.
No, right.
Yeah, I think
That's it.
we've all collectively suffered the imposter syndrome
right,
in
yeah.
life at some point.
No,
yeah.
it's show me a liar when somebody says they haven't had it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everybody's had it. So to me, it's like
I'm
there's-
having it right now.
Make it till you make it.
It's just to have that windy, weird journey to end up there. It's like, it does kind of connect.
It does. It's a path, but it's not always a smooth path.
No.
Sometimes there's a lot of fucking stones in the way that you trip
Right,
over,
right.
fall, hurt yourself, get back up. In your case,
Yeah.
cancer twice, and I mean it's a road, but
There's two big stones right there.
two and one out.
Yeah.
But then
One
you
out,
look back,
solo.
and you look back and you reflect, right, and you see where you're at now, and it's interesting how it's all part of, like I said, I've told you this before. I've
Yeah.
shared that thought. All streams that flow into the same river.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And it feels a little like when you're go back to the question that you asked earlier about like does it haunt you, the idea of cancer coming back and taking you out. Haunt is, I don't know if haunt's the right
Strong word.
but I would definitely say it's constantly pushing me to like say yes to things that I normally would be like, hell, I don't know if I'm the right guy for that. You know what? Right? Who cares? You know what?
So, would you say that at this point in your life that you are still constantly challenging yourself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
constantly. Yeah, 100%. I feel like I'm building the plane as it's taking off, and honestly, I'm fine with that.
But what's cool about what you're doing with the construction field, especially, and I think this is huge, is that the people that own these companies, the people that are in charge of these companies, are recognizing the need, and they're facilitating and calling out to you and saying, "I need you to come talk to my men and women." Out here in this field, so they're recognizing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's huge as well.
Absolutely.
You're not just going in just boots on the ground. There's now authoritative figures, bosses, CEOs that are saying we need this. And this is going to benefit my company. And help the people in it.
Yeah, it's making a big turn. I remember when we first started. When I first started the work a few years ago, kind of organically, I was reaching out to companies around the city, and there wasn't much. I don't think anybody was doing anything yet.
No, I told you found this incredible
Weird,
niche.
it just kind of happened. But
That was
then
about
I started,
10 years ago, right? 10 years ago?
Say it again.
Was it 10 years ago when that happened?
2022.
Okay.
So it's only been
So that's not
4
long at all.
years.
No,
yeah,
he's,
really.
he when I say stumbled is the wrong word, but when he decided to go this route, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
And the growth in a short amount of time, and I told you this over coffee. I said, sack up, baby, because it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger and better. I mean, better in that sense that more people are going to want it. Bigger in that there's going to be more demands upon you to do it.
Yeah, and I think in that, and I'm seeing it in other industries too. Like again, like I said, manufacturing, trucking is reaching out. But also just in general, there's something about like positive. I want to say this in a not stuffy way. Like positive dude influence. Good dude influence. Like guys that are trying to do something good in the world, that are trying to live their life in a way. And I'm not just putting Jesus on this. I'm just saying that like just in general, just trying to make the world a better place.
Right.
Trying to be kind. Like trying to be empathetic and trying to model that for folks who don't even know what that means yet.
The word and the concept of empathy is rapidly, being dismissed in our world. So anytime, any chance, any opportunity to bring the concept and the actual application of empathy back into any situation is, I think, so important.
I
and so
can't even think of somebody off the top of my head. You think of, like my kid talks about Elon Musk all the time. He doesn't idolize him, but he's front and center in every person's mind, right?
Yes.
And in theory, he would be this brilliant scientist, or whatever the hell he is, inventor, whatever. I don't know what the fuck he is.
Yeah.
Businessman.
But yes, thank you. But like,
Right.
But he's not that,
He's not that.
and he's not a role model.
And then I'd say on the far extent, the far end of that like spectrum is like your Andrew Tates that are out there that are openly like dividing, hating, what's anti-empathy? What is that? Antipathy? Is that the word?
I don't know.
You got a lot of books in there.
I had a
dude.
lot of books in there. I'll have to look it up.
So that to me is there's a need for like what's the opposite end of the spectrum?
Right.
Is like guys that are getting out there modeling vulnerability, showing kindness and empathy, and doing it in a way that's empowering other men to do that too. And that to me, that fights the suicide epidemic, that fights the overdose epidemic that's out there, because it's allowing men to feel vulnerable and reach out and talk
And find out that it's okay to be.
And it's
to
okay-
be vulnerable.
That's it.
Did you watch the OSU? Sorry to interrupt. The OSU documentary.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I've not watched it yet.
What's it called? Surviving
Surviving
Ohio
OSU.
State.
the one with Jim Jordan, right?
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
But
What a guy.
What
love
a
that-
guy.
Love that guy. No,
Yeah.
but it's one of the main themes throughout the whole thing is, this doctor molested thousands of manly men wrestlers, on the Ohio State football team, national champions. There's no way that these guys, A, nobody believed them,
Right.
and B, there wasn't an opportunity for them to feel a space for them to feel comfortable to come out and say,
Yeah, because fear ran
It's-
everything. They were afraid.
sure they
to,
were.
Yeah, they were
It's
afraid.
systemic. It's all of that. It's all like stemming from this place of like, it's weak to talk. It's weak to speak up. It's weak to feel something. And it's just like until there are folks out there that are putting themselves out there in a vulnerable spot in a public way.
Right.
And this is why I've talked to you a whole bunch about like with the man therapy stuff.
Yeah.
Is empowering your voice.
It is.
It's not just putting man therapy on a pedestal, because yes, it is an incredible resource.
It is an incredible resource, and I'm thrilled to be an ambassador for it. But in the process, and you've witnessed this, you were at a thing where it's kind of morphed into from man's therapy to what we're calling now one man's therapy. Where I do put out that
powerful.
where I put out that vulnerability
Yes.
and so forth and so on. And you and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
About the sincerity and the honesty.
Yeah.
And here we are, two guys that are talking about therapy, mental health, and so forth and so on. But I will be very candid as well. Some of the things that we talk about as well, like we get down, we get depressed,
Yes,
we
do.
get
We do.
overwhelmed, and
Yeah.
you're like, and then where do we go? You know,
Yeah.
I got these guys, but
Yeah.
We're not much help.
How does that feel?
We're
no,
not much
I
help.
actually make a joke. I said one of the things I didn't mention you guys one time. I said the fact I'm blessed that I do have good friends.
Yeah.
That I can if I needed to,
That's
and
right.
wanted to talk to, I could.
Yeah.
And it would be any one of these three guys at any given day,
Yeah.
as a group or one on one.
That's beautiful.
And vice versa.
Absolutely.
They know that I'm an open door. They can come to me.
Yeah.
I'll bail you out of jail one day, I think. Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you. I
In a
appreciate
weird
that.
way, I think that this podcast, is therapy. They say stand up
is.
is therapy.
Sure.
Just,
Yeah, it is.
just
It
bullshitting and talking with the guys is
And I
off
had
your
the pleasure
shoulders.
of actually let's do some plugging here real quick.
Sure.
Paul Lawson Helps is your website, correct?
That's my LLC. That's
Your
my
LLC.
business name. Yeah, it's Paul
And-
Lawson
and
Helps.
Is it also something else, or is it just the LLC? in
Just the
general?
LLC right now. Paul Lawson Helps is just like my consulting, speaking, training, all
Training,
that stuff.
everything.
Yep.
That's where they can find out everything about.
Yep, so
Paul Lawson.
paullawsonhelps.com.
And then Paul Lawson Chats.
That's my podcast.
That's the podcast that you
Yep.
started recently, which I had the pleasure of being on not too long ago.
Yep.
I wanna see
editing
that
right
one.
now.
It's
Not literally right now.
No, not right now.
Right.
But I thoroughly enjoyed being on that.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about man therapy and the stuff that I do, Paul was an extremely gracious, engaging host, and we talk more about that there. We don't need to talk about that here. We want to talk about Paul here. But I appreciate you bringing up man therapy and the fact that like a couple of quiet. I don't want to say superheroes, but we are going to join forces at some point together and work
Absolutely.
together and do some things together.
Yep.
I think what we were both doing in our parallel lives with mental health can come together and do some good. So I'm
Like the
looking forward
Wonder
to that.
Twins.
The Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twins
And
powers
then-
activate.
And then we'll be wrestlers. And
Yes.
then we'll be then we'll be professional wrestlers.
I
It's,
love it.
it's
I
like
think
two
it's
two
great.
bears. Actually,
Yes.
talking about.
yeah.
Perfect.
No, man.
My dreams are coming true.
It's good. I mean, I'm not a fatalist by any stretch of the imagination, but there's every once in a while I do have to take a nod in my head and going like, okay, I was supposed to meet that guy.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be at this place. You were supposed to go to Indianapolis. You know,
It's one of those things where even if like in my faith, I don't think has been the core of my faith. My confidence in the like American church system, that's rocky as hell.
I bet.
But as far as like the way things just weave, am I open-minded to what is guiding that? I can have a conversation around that, but there's just, I don't know, there's too many coincidences. I don't think it's for me to believe that they're actually coincidences.
It's
too weird.
So, are you
You
saying
know?
you do believe in coincidences or do not believe in coincidences?
No, I don't think that. I think that God is guiding every single tiny rock? No, I don't think so. I think he cast free will for a reason. But I do think certain things do just kind of happen.
Right.
That are a little bit too, like the whole ending up in Indianapolis thing. That was one of my things I look back on and be like, yeah, I can be as mad at the church as I want to be right now. That was crazy the way that all shaped out.
Right.
I mean, of all of the different permutations of how that could have gone with the way I'm moving my family around and saying yes to certain things and then somehow ending up in construction. That could have ended up in so many different other careers.
Right.
But at this one, with the need that was there, with my background and the way that I speak to people, which was shaped based on the church that I was at, and learning to public speak under people who spoke authentically, that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know.
It's like Plinko. You just never know where it's going to go.
It's a weird, it was just such a weird thing.
Yeah, it's like Plinko. You have 5 chips.
Yeah.
And you will.
Yeah. So I don't know. To me, I think that's been faith confirming, but at the same time, no. I think that's the beautiful part of it too. That in construction, there are a lot of dudes who are like churchgoers, but I've had great conversations with Muslim Americans and atheists, and that's why I never want to lead with like, I don't want to call myself like a chaplain.
No.
I don't like I love chaplains. I've had great chaplains. I've spent a lot of time in the hospital, but for the work that I'm doing, I'm a helper.
Yeah.
It's interesting. In our first conversations post our first meeting when we had the coffee, I selfishly did it. I don't know if you recall this or not. I selfishly did indulge you because in the last couple of years, I've not been questioning my faith because I don't know how much faith I had to begin with.
Yeah.
But I was definitely leaning more towards it. One of the things I said to you is like I don't look for God, like you just said earlier. I don't look for God to solve my problems.
Yeah.
All I ask for in prayer when I do pray, and I don't even know if it's prayer so much as it is conversations.
Yeah, right.
That I have. I always ask for Him to open my eyes and let me see what I'm supposed to see. Open my eyes a little bit, take my blinders off, and let me see what's around me. But I remember in those first couple of coffees that we had together, I actually questioned you about faith and
I remember
whatnot.
this.
Yeah.
I remember this.
You remember that conversation?
We went so deep so fast.
I
on
know
that
we
first
did.
one.
I know we
We
did.
were like,
That was
this is
Dino
like,
for
Let's
you.
get together for
Whoa.
half an hour and have coffee. 2.5 hours later.
That's it. That's what happened. That was
we're-
it.
Converted him.
We're still
No.
no conversion. No
It
conversion
was
whatsoever.
awesome.
Just that we realized that there was some honest conversation.
Yeah.
And actually, that 2.5 hour coffee was again. It serves as inspiration for how we spoke to each other.
Yeah.
Is how we.
Yeah, sure.
How we speak to the people that we get in front of as well.
Yeah.
Openly and honestly. You know, scars and all.
Yeah,
Here it
scars
is.
and all.
Scars
Yeah.
and all. Whatever the case might be.
And to me, it's like, and then for you to keep diving into I call it mission work, which again, it's a churchy, but
It's just a term, but
it's a
something.
term.
It works.
Mission
I
could
don't know.
be. It could be churchy. It could be Tom Cruise.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Uh-huh.
That's
it
right.
It could be.
sometimes it feels like having conversations with construction workers is kind of like going through the laser grid.
Yeah.
Oh,
and kind of
like all that wire work involved. Oh my God.
It's like, oh my gosh, I don't, but it is for the work that you're doing with man therapy, which perfectly fits into the construction,
Right.
like 100%. It's it's a perfect resource because it's a lot of those guys. The on-ramp to talking about all the stuff around mental health and well-being and all that stuff isn't a bunch of stuffy figures and numbers. It's vulnerability or it's funny.
Yeah. Right.
If you can put those two things out there, that on-ramps the conversation and builds
And
trust.
I do try to include, as you know, I do try to include both
You do.
the humorous and go in the waves and whatnot.
So I got to get you a hard hat.
I gotta get me a hard hat so that I can talk to some hard heads.
I got one in the car. You want me to go grab it?
You
real
got one because for the company that you work
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
you need
yeah.
one when you're
Yeah,
on
true.
site every now
That's
and
true.
again. So yeah. You have a large head too.
I do.
'Cause I told Paul if I get a hard hat, I said get a big hat.
Get the
because I
biggest
have a-
hard hat.
Big
Yeah,
head.
I have
Sure.
a
Yeah,
big.
mine's
I have a
good.
large.
I have the one that has the rim all the way around.
Oh,
Stretch your
nice.
neck a little bit.
Nice.
Like a safari hat.
Almost. Like a
Got the full rim.
Yeah. Safari.
Full rim.
So,
Sorry.
moving forward, I see us collaborating.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something down the line.
Yep.
It doesn't have to happen tomorrow or next week, but it's going to happen.
For sure.
I see that as a positive thing. But personally, for Paul Lawson, where do you see yourself in the next handful of months by the end of this year? Where do you want to take this? Where do you want it to
Yeah.
go? How do you want it to grow? Are you afraid of how fast it's going to grow? Are you going to be able to keep up? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to? I need to do this before I do that. And these are conversations that we would probably have over coffee, but we're having them on the podcast.
I know. Let's do it. No, it's. I'm not scared shitless. I'm excited.
I'm excited shitless. Can you be excited shitless?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a true
Yeah.
thing.
I'm
There's
excited
medicine
shitless,
for that.
yes.
Yeah.
To me, Oh man, I feel like every day something cool's popping up. It feels like, if not every day, it's popping up multiple times a week where I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Okay, it's moving. Like when I stepped out to go independent, I was looking around the country, and there are few folks out in the country that have done this, like to go start a business focusing on just getting out there and helping companies figure this out. There's not much.
There's not much.
So there are a bunch of companies that are starting to do it internally, but other folks to go out there and help other companies do that, there's not much.
And I don't know if it's the algorithm that is coming into play, but I follow you on LinkedIn and so forth and so on, and maybe as a result of following you, I am seeing the occasional new guy pop up that's doing something similar.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are you? You're not Paul Lawson.
And luckily,
but they're doing good things.
There's enough. There's so many.
They're doing good things.
The work hasn't really happened. It started like there a few folks started doing about 15 years ago, but it's really picked up in the last few years. So it's like there are 50. If you look at there's a coding system out there for certain for companies to be able to categorize themselves. There are 50,000 construction companies in Ohio alone. Now, those could be contractors of like 2 people.
Right.
Could be. Or it could be contractors of, a couple thousand workers. It could be. It's all in there. But that being said, I think the point is that there's plenty of work to go around. So if there's a bunch of people that are starting to pop up to do the work, great. Absolutely. And let's team up and let's do this.
Well, you mentioned that I remember you said, May was crazy. You had to actually take a break.
Yes.
Because May was so busy.
Yeah, I think it was on site most of the week doing stuff.
And you need to do that. You need to take care of your mental health, your physical health for that matter too.
Oh,
because
for sure.
what good are you if you're damaged
Bottoming
goods?
out. Absolutely.
If you're damaged goods, then that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
We need to keep you healthy.
Yeah, I know. So it's a lot, man. It's been a marathon. I mean, I went independent in February, and I had no idea what to expect.
I remember your fear.
I was
We
like,
talked about it.
Oh my gosh, this
We
is
talked
happening.
about it.
But to me, again, when you've had that recurring theme of, if my cancer did ever come back, and I am sitting on my deathbed someday, I want to look back and say I did something with that time, from the time that I got that voicemail to the time that I was on my deathbed.
Right.
I wanted to look back and say, hey, I built something for my boys. I made the world a little better place. I helped some families along the way. I helped some like genuinely good workers that are just trying to build our city, our schools and our hospitals and our homes and any of the things that we take for granted every day that we're in,
right?
That we're blessed by because construction exists. If I can pour myself into benefiting those things and saving some lives along the way, that's a life well lived.
That is a will, yeah, for sure. I always talk about I'm older than you, and yet I feel just as young as you.
Yeah, right.
In some ways,
I can't
which is
tell
good.
If you're like my crazy uncle or
I am
super
not the
cool
first
big
person
brother.
who has been called that's given me the moniker of crazy uncle, and that's fine. I
There
embrace
you go.
it.
We'll take it.
Funkle.
I had Funkle, Drunkle. I've never been Drunkle, Funkle, all of them. But my point is like I feel the same way. I don't want to go to make a literary quote. I don't want to go quiet into that good night.
Yeah.
I want my last chapters to be fulfilling chapters, to be
Yeah.
good chapters,
Like
to
a-
have meaningful
Like a
chapters.
good rager, man. Let's do this thing. Like that
Yeah,
to me
yeah,
is like
that's it. Like
Mel Brooks is what, 90, almost 100, and he's
Mel
making
Brooks is almost
Spaceballs
2.
2's coming.
baseball
You
too.
know?
May
Yeah.
the Schwartz be with you.
Right.
Yeah, right.
What did he say in the preview for that? He was just like, we didn't listen to the fans.
No,
so we're making
we
this
asked the
movie.
fans what movie they wanted to see, and
we're
we
making
made
this
this
one.
one.
We
We're
made
still making this one. We're still making this one. Classic Mel Brooks.
That's a man who's like going for it, right?
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
right. No, time is not stopping that guy.
No time,
So-
and I think that's also a key to longevity in a way as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a message out there, it's like if anybody's listening to this podcast and is feeling in that low place,
Yeah.
there's help galore
Yes.
out there. There's people. There's always somebody out there that's willing to listen.
I think that's the message is like for the folks that are in a really low spot, there's help. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to get help. Period.
Done.
Reach out.
Story.
For all the folks that are just trucking along in life and you're living for the paycheck and you wish that there was something more, like I I think the other message that's kind of the byproduct of this whole thing is it's empowering people to dive into this work, because you're not a therapist or a doctor.
No, I'm not. And I
None
say
of
that
you
up front.
guys
I'm not a
are.
therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a doctor.
And I'm not either.
But-
I have no letters behind my degree from college. I'm a voice major. I sing opera.
Oh, prove it.
No, he
No.
does. He does sing.
So
He's a hell of a musician.
like-
And when he told me he was an opera singer, I went, "Get the fuck." I love opera.
But that's my like degree. My degree's not in any of this stuff. So to me, anybody who has like a shred of care for people around them can do this work. You can.
You can.
You know. So
And
to
it-
me, it's empowering people.
Isn't it interesting that your major was in voice, and yet one of the things we say in the mental health world is be a voice.
I know.
So there you
The
are.
irony is not lost on
You
me.
know,
I
yeah,
know,
the,
I know. It's there.
ironic,
It's there.
ironic,
I
but
know.
in a good way.
All of it kind of it does. It just kind of
It
ties
all
together. Life
ties
finds
in,
a way.
baby.
What is that? Ian Malcolm, Jurassic Park. Life finds a way.
Isn't
that it? Yeah, we have
Yeah.
that quote above our couch, and it feels poignant. So
Well,
Life
there's
finds a way. You know.
it's.
I saw
But
the
to
new
answer-
one last night.
Wait, say it again.
I saw the new one last
Oh,
night.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
It started out really, really shitty, and it ended really, really well.
That's
So-
good. Okay, so they stuck the landing.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry
it's
to interrupt.
No,
you.
no,
You're
no,
totally
no.
fine.
Hey, he mentioned a Jurassic Park.
I
Yeah,
know.
can't-
I
Gotta
know.
talk
Movie
about it.
references.
We
I
go
know.
down our
Yeah.
rabbit holes. The
answer-
other rabbit hole we want to go down before we
Star
leave
Trek.
is I cut you off on the porch and I said save for the podcast. So we're gonna end this on a lighter note.
Yes.
And then I'll come back and I'll close strong.
Sure.
Stick the landing. Just like Jurassic Park. All
right.
of this
I'll
sucked.
stick the landing.
As long
The rest
as-
all
stick the
sucked.
because
This part was good.
People think sometimes like perception is reality. When we talk about this stuff, they think that that's all we do. That's all we're obsessed
Right.
with. You know, no, you were an opera singer. You're a hell of a musician. I've seen you play guitar online, and it's amazing. Yeah, he's great. He's great. And then what I didn't know that I stumbled across tonight is that you're a huge Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
And then you find out that these guys have a Star Trek podcast. And then you started to talk about and I'm gonna tell you what, you need to check it out
Oh, I will.
because
Oh, I will. Absolutely.
this is the beauty. I'll let you talk about it too because it's yours.
Yeah.
But here's the beauty of their podcast. It's two guys that love Star Trek, and break down. They've gone in order from pilot to where they're at right now, in order for the episodes.
Amazing.
And
Space
it's just so honest and sincere.
Yes.
And John does a great job of when they're talking about a particular scene.
Yeah.
You know, he puts it in there, and you can see it, and it's just
We'll say the lines and try to lip sync it.
It's
sync
so
them up.
great. It's so great. Now I'll let you finish the rest of it.
Well, yeah, we always say we're fans, not experts. So if you're
Okay.
expecting some kind of like deep dive into Star Trek,
Right.
you ain't gonna get it here. Sometimes we don't go in order of the show.
Yeah.
It's all jumbled but we have fun. We watch Star Trek and we talk about it.
But it is an order of the episodes
Yes.
as they
Yes.
aired.
Yes, in order as they aired, just when we're drinking during it. By the way, so
This feels very.
I like to
kinda
think that
stole that.
I like to think that some of the basic bricks laid in their episode came from whiskey business. They drink when they're doing the podcast.
That's
This
true.
is not a sub. This isn't like an offshoot.
No. This
series.
isn't a
No,
spin
Not
off
at all.
of whiskey business at all.
Because that's a hell of an idea.
It's not.
too.
It's not.
Yeah,
No,
That's
no, no,
so
no.
cool.
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Now,
we,
what are you guys up to then right now?
we're on a hiatus. We're
Okay.
gonna do soon the.
There's one about to come out, but the one that we're about to do is Space Seed
Yes,
with
Space
with Khan.
So what number is
Okay,
that?
with
Like
Khan.
yeah, remember that one?
that's
Yeah,
right, when
with
to come back
Ricardo
with.
Montalban.
Yeah.
15,
Yes.
16, what number?
I don't know what the number.
like
of that.
almost 18, I think.
It's a lot.
So-
though.
But I wanted to watch the shows and then watch the podcast, but and I started doing that with the first two.
Sure.
But you don't need to, because you add the clips, so you can just watch.
You can
the
just watch the
shows.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up mostly on the Next Generation.
Right.
Those
Sure.
were like new coming out when I was a kid.
Right, same.
And that was like me getting out of the bath when I was like 6, and immediately go and watch.
oh my God, you're
Sunday night on Fox.
On Fox.
And
Yes.
Xena and
Absolutely.
Hercules.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and Hercules, of course. But I just remember, and I collected all the toys. I remember I had all the action figures, and I actually was in an antique shop recently. The fact that it was an antique shop is ridiculous. They had a Picard action figure mint on card.
Oh wow.
And I have that in my office. And it's like as a remnant of like this was every time I walked into a Target or a Meijer as a kid, beeline to the action figure section and look for the Star Trek toys. You know, so that grew up on that stuff. The Borg episode, any of the Borg episodes.
So when did you discover original Star Trek?
So I
He didn't.
Not yet.
I watched them, but I didn't watch them religiously. It wasn't like Next Generation. It was like part of my childhood.
Yeah.
It was
The
big.
originals, I know that, and the movies too. So like Star Trek Generations and Star Trek First Contact,
All those,
Insurrection.
Yeah.
But like First Contact,
Everybody does that.
I know.
Insurrection.
High hopes for that one. And as a kid, I watched it. I was like, this is
First Contact? Okay, it's all right.
First Contact. Oh man, I love. So that one was like one of the first scary movies that I
Yeah,
saw as a
yeah,
kid
yeah.
because we were a Christian family. We weren't allowed to watch.
Man,
horror
you are
movies.
young.
Yeah, 37. So, but no,
Oh my God, I'm 30 years older than you. Almost. That's
Crazy
crazy.
uncle, right?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
There we go. But yeah, no, I will definitely be tuning into your podcast.
Edith Keeler's Edge of Forever Bar and
I'll
Grill,
tell you
available
what,
on
if-
YouTube.
If you've not watched a whole bunch of the originals, listening to that podcast will make you want to watch.
I'm a fan of commentary along
It's
with
great.
watching things. That's what watching Lord of the Rings with my wife is like because she reads it religiously along with the Silmarillion and all of that. So she does deep dive. So when you're watching the movies, she'll pause it and be like, there's context here. And then she'll lay it all out. Normally that's obnoxious as hell. With her, it's fascinating.
Well, you won't
Oh.
get that with our podcast.
No, okay.
No, but you will enjoy it.
Well, and one of the other
You will
Star Trek
enjoy it.
nerds that I love out on the internet. Do you guys watch Red Letter Media?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Okay, those the two dudes are up in Wisconsin, and they do. There's one guy who's like completely Star Trek, like agnostic, does not know anything about it, and the other guy does deep dive. So one guy just annoys the hell out of the other guy, and does these deep dives, and then definitely, I think any of
funny.
you guys would appreciate Red Letter Media. They do great stuff.
Beautiful. All right, so closing thoughts
Okay.
in respects to Paul Lawson Helps. How is Paul Lawson going to continue to help, and what moving forward?
Yeah.
From today to tomorrow to next month to next year, what do you want to do?
Yeah, my goal is to help as many construction companies figure out mental health and well-being as possible and do it in a way that impacts their workers and their workers' families. So that means offering training or coming in and speaking for them, getting out to their job sites. That's what May turned into, was just like all these companies saying, can you come to these like 6 job sites in one day and come out and like talk to our crews, and then doing that days at a time. I was like, that's it. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do because I'm impacting workers directly, which then has a trickle down also to their families. So to me, helping companies build out programs, like well-being programs that happen throughout the year, and then training and speaking. I'm just going to keep that going.
Here's an
as long as I
interesting
can
question
go.
for you. Have you seen success stories as a result of the work you've done, or do you walk away feeling successful?
2 that I can share off the top of my head. We had one kid who I spoke and did a toolbox talk, and he came up after the talk and had a full-blown panic attack. And he pulled aside the safety guy on site and myself and told us and opened up that he had a full-blown meth addiction and that his entire family did too, and that he could not get out of the house and he didn't know what to do, and he had used last night. So there's dudes who get around the drug testing and stuff, and they just figure out how. There's
beat the system.
Plenty
Yeah,
of ways to
sure.
do it. But this kid just felt like he had permission after I spoke up about my substance use issue in the past, and he opened up and he told us. He had never told anybody else outside of the people who he used with. And we got him connected to, he ended up stepping away from the job for a while, and he went to an inpatient addiction treatment center, and he's clean today.
That's awesome.
So that's one.
And we always say, if you save one,
That's one.
That's a win.
So it's incredible. So seeing him make steps for himself and get clean has been incredible. We had another a couple that was on site that they ended up separating, and it was some of it was due to some like really deep mental health and mental illness and communication issues and stuff. And they took resources, got some help, and the husband ended up diving into a bunch of communication resources and how to open up about his own past and got a ton of help. And just last week, they ended up moving back in together.
That's
at the
awesome.
end of it with their kids.
Nice.
So to me, it's like that's just two that I know of.
Yeah.
You know,
as far as I'm concerned, you're batting 500.
yeah.
Right away,
There's
you know.
I
If
know
that,
there's
if that
more
was
than
baseball, you'd be in the Hall of Fame.
yeah. Right. So it's I'll take it. But I mean, that's just the start of it, man. And all that was just speaking up, modeling vulnerability, and letting folks know, hey, you don't just have to sit with whatever thing is happening. You can get help. You can reach out. And when folks do it, it's incredible.
Well, I think one of the things that works to your advantage, and I'm not blowing smoke, is that there's a sincerity about you. There's an honesty about you, and and you kind of emote compassion and empathy, and I think people pick up on it. I did.
Yeah.
I did the first time I met you.
Yeah.
And I said, not only am I going to plan to have coffee with this guy, I'm going to make it a point to have coffee with this guy,
Yeah.
which has started this friendship and relationship between the two of us
Yep.
moving forward.
What cafe did you go to?
We went to Crimson Cup.
Crimson Cup.
I love that place.
Oh,
That's nice.
That's our
Yeah,
place.
it's good.
That's,
Yeah, lovely.
Crimson
It's
Cup.
lovely.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
we
lovely.
have to
Seating
kinda
and parking gets
seating and
iffy.
parking. Sometimes we have to find the right time where it's dead.
Yeah.
We always seem to get there when it's fucking
Hopping.
swamped.
I know. Yeah.
You know,
It's
but
the morning crew. That
yeah,
come in.
whatever.
Yeah.
But it's been good, and we're due for another one. Let's again, if people want to find out more about Paul Lawson and what you do,
Yep.
tell them how.
PaulLawsonHelps.com, my website. You can reach out through that, but also like LinkedIn. I hate LinkedIn, but it's a necessary evil.
LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn. I like, for me personally, as far as getting the message out there, LinkedIn has been
Here,
It's
let me
like a
amend
social
what I
media
said.
site you've
I don't
adopted. Yeah.
I think what bugs me about LinkedIn is the typical corporate stuffiness of it.
right.
I
there
think
is.
but there's a way of getting out there and being authentic even in that, and that's what I've forced myself
grasping
to
onto.
be.
Yeah.
Yes, like I will, hell or high water, I'm going to just be myself on LinkedIn.
Be yourself on it.
Yes.
I was myself. My last post on LinkedIn was celebrating my mother's 89th birthday.
That's right.
I took a picture.
That's just you.
There was a picture of my
Yes.
mom and celebrating. She was
Awesome.
in Georgia, 89. Sometimes you just got to share the love.
Love it.
My mom
Yes.
turned 89 yesterday.
Yep.
God bless
Love
her.
that. Good
Yeah.
for her.
You know, and that's what I put out there. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Website, PaulLawsonHelps.com, LinkedIn. My podcast is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Paul Lawson Chats. You will be episode 8.
I will be episode 8
Coming up soon.
Nice.
Sweet.
One of my new episodes that's going to be coming up soon that I just booked is with a friend of mine, Melissa Doman, which is going to come back.
She's
But
coming back again?
She's
That's-
bringing her friend, who's the bass player for OAR.
Oh wow!
is gonna be
Because
on it.
Melissa, that's the
Benj
one. That's the one that I
Columbus
just recently
That's
watched,
right.
right?
So Melissa's the one that you just watched, and she's dynamite.
Yeah,
a
she's great. She's
Good friend
amazing.
from Denver.
That's the other thing too. It's like as a result of being in this world, I'm coming across and listening and finding and meeting
All
people
of these
who are
other
just
folks.
so amazing.
Well, that's it.
and it's humbling.
Yeah.
It's humbling. Like I think I'm doing well, but wow.
Yeah.
No, okay, that's the next level. I need
It's
to- I need to
incredible.
try to get to.
It's a small town. It's a good community, but yeah, we got some really cool people coming up and who are all just helpers around the country doing cool stuff.
Nice.
Cool
That's
stuff,
what
and
the
you're doing
podcast is
cool
all
stuff,
about.
brother. Thank you, man, for everything.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
No, my pleasure. Paul Lawson, everybody. Paul Lawson doing good work in the mental health field and a Star Trek fan as well. So there you go. You know what?
Not such a bad guy.
Not such a bad guy.
Thank you, Black Diamond Bourbon Whiskey.
Indeed.
With this single barrel select rye, which I think we may or may not have had on the show. I can't remember where that come from.
My cousin Ben, who is a whiskey business fan, shout out Ben.
Shout out to Ben.
Hey, Ben.
He lives in Washington D.C. area, but he bought this for us like a while ago. He was here around like Easter or something. It was like, I want you guys to have this as your guest bottle.
That's nice.
So we bought it, or we brought it last week or last time, and our guest brought
Mark
a
Hoyt
bottle.
brought a bottle of straight
and
whiskey
then
from Michigan.
and then we had this
Thank you,
one.
Ben.
So, and
Ben,
we're-
there's your shout out. Ben, is that good? Is he gonna be happy about this?
I'm sure he's gonna be
There you
good.
go.
Happy?
Ben's the
All right.
best.
Thank you,
Ben's the
Brett
best.
Adams.
There you go.
The Black Diamond. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brett.
Thank you, Gatto's Pizza.
Yeah.
Gotta get a Gatto's. Did you enjoy the Gatto's? You never had Gatto's
loved it.
before.
That was delicious.
That was delicious pizza. We still
Absolutely.
gotta get a Gatto's.
Yep.
Can I bring some home for my kid?
You can take whatever you want, man. I haven't even had a slice yet.
I'm on the hook for dinner tonight.
I'm-
So,
yeah,
So-
because you got somebody else pick up your children so you can come here earlier for the podcast, which I do appreciate.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So where can they
Some
find
Uber
us?
driver.
Yeah.
Where can they find us?
Oh, geez, I forgot
What's
about
our
this.
business about?
Whiskey Business is a podcast not so much
yeah,
about
we-
whiskey
we-
as it is
We
one.
suck.
guys
We
are
suck at this
horrible
part.
with whiskey.
We are
See?
we
The
are the
sign-off.
worst self-promoters in the world. What's our website?
WhiskeyBusinessPod.com.
Okay.
Okay, go there.
Thanks to Evergreen Podcasts,
Yes.
our parent company.
parent
Thank
company.
you. They're doing some great stuff.
Yeah, you'll hear commercials in the middle of our podcast. Thank you because they put them in.
If you listen to the show 12,000 times, we'll get $100. So thank you.
That'll pay for a couple bottles.
might pay for a couple bottles.
We're on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Chip actually is doing a great job of posting the photographs.
Yeah.
Saw that.
of all
Thank
of
you,
us.
Chip.
Chip does that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
But on
As
all of
well.
your favorite podcasting apps, YouTube, Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis.
Correct.
Smash that button.
Check it out.
And how many? We've got 400
What?
episodes.
Something like that.
I've lost
What
track.
season
That's a
are
lot
we
of
in now?
whiskey.
I don't know. We've got. I know that we've tried to have a different bottle on every podcast. I think we're close to 300. Maybe.
So
And you haven't doubled? Have you?
everyone like me, maybe once or
We've
twice.
had like Jack Daniels this and Jack Daniels that.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
but
that's
not the
okay.
same Jack
That's all right.
Daniels. So
Yeah.
we've had Knob Creek this and Knob Creek that, but
That's
not the
amazing.
same Knob Creek.
single barrel, you can go all,
There's
I
a lot.
know.
And you know what?
I
And
know.
we could do this podcast till the day I die, which won't be for another 30 years, and still not get through all the whiskeys.
That's true.
We could
That's
we could
true.
easily have a different whiskey, Japanese whiskey, Irish whiskey.
Oh,
we haven't
yeah.
even done the job. I'm looking at that Hideki, just looking at us. Is that what it's called?
Hibiki?
Hibiki, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. My now son-in-law. Prior to that, he was my future son-in-law, but now he's my son-in-law. Gave me that when he was not my son-in-law.
It's very Scotchy.
It is
And look
Scotch.
at him now. He's your
What is Japanese
son-in-law.
Hibiki?
But that's a Japanese
Yeah, it's
whiskey,
Japanese.
right?
Japanese
Was he
Scotch.
hoping that you wouldn't figure it out that he wasn't Japanese?
He's not. I knew he was Thai.
He's Thai.
He told me
Thai
he was
Danny.
I'm just joking.
His name is Thai Danny.
I call him Thai Danny. I know.
Thai
which I
Danny.
turned out was apparently a racist thing to say. Which I couldn't-
They're from New York. Everything's racist.
Danny and Ty.
You can't call him Thai Danny. I can't. No, that's racist. Why? I don't know.
We like the Dannies. When are they coming back?
August.
All right.
All right. looking
Back
forward
in
to the
August.
Dannies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Where's the lid to this? Hands
I dropped it. It's on the
Alright.
Paul's feet.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's a-
I didn't want to like go down and look a little weird.
That would have been an awkward shot.
This close is petering out. Do you know?
This closes.
Yeah,
this
we-
close got extended.
stuck
yeah. My thanks
You
to
stuck it and then it leaned
John
over.
Whitney on the video side.
John
Hey, Greg Hansberry on the audio side. Hey, and you can't see him, but Chip Cosell on all sides.
It is my pleasure.
And our guest Paul Lawson. My name is Dino Tripodis. Until the next bottle, see ya.